Songs for Angus. Chapter 1. A Cat to Call My Own. Inspired. Upon visiting the land of England, whilst staying at the residence of Sir Richard Taylor, Mrs. B had been inspired by two extremely naughty kittens. After having the pleasure of a very mischievous time with the curtain-climbing, fluffy balls of fun, Mr. and Mrs. B returned to a clean and noiseless house in the western suburbs of Sydney, down under. Monday morning came and Mr. B was at work, but Mrs. B was bubbling up a desire, or was it a desperate need of something to fill that empty space in the quiet, cold and empty place of her heart? You see, she had been sitting and thinking and sitting. "What should I do?" she gasped. "There's no one to play with and no one to talk to. My chores are all but done, and still I do find so much more time to occupy my mind. I know what, I'll give it a shot. I'll give Mr. B a ring. I know it's a sure thing." So, on picking up the telephone, Mrs. B dials her lovely hubby from home. The phone call. Mrs. B: "Darling, I'm home and all alone with only you to phone. I know for a fact what would help me is a putty cat to call my very own." Mr. B:
"What? A putty cat? Not on your Nelly. You cannot have that, and that is that. I don't want a pet. Now my mind is totally set, and that's a fact."
Mrs. B: "Then possibly a dog I could walk? I could meet others with dogs, and we could walk and talk. I promise to always clean up his poo, and on my own give him a weekly shampoo. I have to have something, can't you see, to keep my mind occupied and my body busy." Mr. B:
"What? A dog? To a dog I say no. This will be a big responsibility. This is way far too much, honey, can't you see? We have no space in the house for a dog such as he."
Mrs. B had no intention of giving up so easily. She knew a little friend would bring her happiness more than Mr. B could comprehend. So with one deep, healthy intake of breath, she continued. Mrs. B: "How about a rat? Easy to care for and good company too. Now I'm saying that's final. A rat will have to do." There was a long pause of silence. It felt like it would never end. Mrs. B just couldn't believe it. Was this to be her newest friend? Then, to her total joyful surprise, 360 degrees had arrived, for Mr. B could not fight it anymore. And so with frustration he continued to roar. Mr. B:
"What? A rat? Certainly not. I'd rather a cat than a rat. You can have that. And this is the final that."
Chapter 2. Angus finds a new home. RSPCA. It was a very exciting day, for Mr. and Mrs. B were off to find Angus. They wanted to give a home to a cat that was unwanted, abandoned, needing a family to call his very own. But little did they know their destiny that day was to find their furry friend at the RSPCA. The RSPCA, walking around from cage to cage. Every single cat performed at their very best. They smiled and they purred. They ruffled up their fur, even winking an eye. Pick me, they cried. Mr. B said,
"Oh, let's have the white one, if not the ginger."
"I'm so sorry, the lady at the counter said. If you want a particular cat, you really must be quicker. You see, said she, by someone else they have already been selected. But can I interest you in? As she pointed to a feline face on her computer screen. Don't you think he's a really cute thing? What about loving him? When Mrs. B first laid eyes on her companion-to-be, he was outstretched on the floor, displaying his medium hair, white, fluffy tummy. Can I pick him up? Can I hold him? She asked. So she did, and he purred as she cuddled, and as she cuddled and stroked, the louder he purred. My beautiful Angus, she said, we have found you at last. Poor little sick Pud. The first few days of Angus in his new home, curled up in a ball so small, and slept and slept. He didn't purr like he did when they first met. My goodness, what a quiet little pet, said Mrs. B to her newest member of the family. I think we should take you to the vet and quickly get you checked. Poor little Angus. He had the putty cat flu. The vet nurse said, a small dosage of this sticky white substance squirted into his mouth daily after food hopefully will do. Day 1, so they did. Day 2, and so they did. Day 3, and still they did. Day 4, this kitty cat had personality that. In shock, Mr. and Mrs. B drew their breath. And leaning back, not quiet, not curled up and small, not lifeless. No, not that. This was a crazy, crazy mad cat. Then, leaping from the edge of the couch as far as he could, and then around the house as fast as he can, he ran, said Angus.
This is who I really am.
Watching your favorite tune, sitting in your sitting room. Everything is quiet, nice and quiet. You're slipping on your lemonade in the summer holiday when shh. Uh-oh, what's that sound? Bang, crash, dun 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 dun. There's a crazy, crazy man in the house, running up and down as fast as he can. There's a crazy, crazy man on the loose in the house. There's a crazy, crazy man in the lounge, tearing up and down and round and around. There's a crazy, crazy man, and I've no idea where he came from. Angus must have a twin because this ain't the cat we brought in. Working underneath the house, downstairs in my studio. Everything is quiet, nice and quiet. I'm on my computer typing up this song to sing for you. And what's that sound? It's coming down to the floorboards. Oh no! Bang! Crash! Dun 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 dun. There's a crazy, crazy man in the house, running up and down as fast as he can. There's a crazy, crazy man on the loose in the house. There's a crazy, crazy man in the lounge, tearing up and down and round and around. There's a crazy, crazy man, and I've no idea where he came from. Angus must have a twin because this ain't the cat we brought in. What in the world can a cat so mad, so scary, crazy, crazy cat? What in the world can a cat so whole house is shaking when you're least expecting. Uh-oh, here it comes again. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang! Crash! Dun-dun-dun, gabby-gabby, dun-dun-dun, gabby-gabby, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. Crazy, crazy, not crazy in the house. Running up and down as fast as he can. There's a crazy, crazy mouse on the loose. In the booth, there's a crazy, crazy mouse in the lounge. Tearing up and down and round and around. There's a crazy, crazy mouse. No doubt this must be Angus. You can't have the twin. I reckon this is the cat we brought in. Angus.
Chapter 3. Angus, King of his castle. Being regal in all his affairs, graced himself with high society, was known for his charm and wit, and became the socialite of his domain. Taking his new position very seriously, he busied himself with knowing and understanding everything, from the smallest detail of his human companion's personal life to the high maintenance of his manor. This included involving himself with as much as possible from dawn till dusk. Be where the action was at all times, and have access to all areas of his kingdom. Job description included: 1. Seeing the smooth running of his estate was up to standard. 2. Highest quality food served at the appropriate times during the day. 3. Praise and adoration from his subjects at regular intervals. 4. Entertainment on demand. And 5. Well, anything really. Whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. He truly was the best prince for this particular kingdom.
And a very good master at that.
If he does say so himself. Always making sure that Mr. and Mrs. B were comfortable in their quarters. Guests were always taken care of, the gardens were maintained and attended to, and general running of household duties was seen to on a daily basis. But little did his subjects know that there were problems in the castle's establishment. According to his personal attendants, Mr. and Mrs. B had insights to dangers at night. And for some unknown reason, the castle gate was shut soon after dark, with Angus inside. The only problem was that the throne of enlightenment was in the palace gardens. Apparently, there was a second of such a throne in the house. But Angus was wise to the treachery and deception of such a place, and for what it was worth, he stood true to his integrity and would not use it. Chapter 4. The Story of Foo-Foo. First came the meow. Then louder it came, followed by the intense running up and down of his domain, then to the closed palace gate.
Make haste, I just cannot wait,
said he.
I need a poo-poo. Are you so dumb or are you just cruel? Or have you no hearing? Then let me say it plainer. Meow.
So up to their face he looked intently into their eyes as he widened his own. No, Angus, they said. The gate is shut lock tight, and now we're off to bed. In final desperation, around the room he did run, jumping on their belly and over their head.
This should do it.
He said to himself, and it did. So peace was restored once again. The palace gates were opened for a brief moment, and all were happy that the job was finally done. Chapter 5. Mrs. B's Admiration. What a beautiful cat you are to me, so purry and cuddly and so happy. A companion to have, in you I have found. Can't imagine life without you always around. You follow me here, you follow me there. I groom your coat and pick up all of your fur. You follow me there, you follow me here. Day after day, week after week, month after month, and now year after year. When I am out, you sit and you wait. Your affection for me is really quite great. So very clear as you wait at the gate. You are my four-legged friend, my forever friend. Perfect perfection, so heavenly sent. But it's not just for me. You see, for I see you are here and will be for everybody. Eager to please, my socialite. Your love is the very best of delights. So greet me again and greet all of my friends. Your love, admiration and personal attention. I want you to know that our love for you grows every time that you greet us with your flop, stretch, roll.
Angus?
Every time I come in through the front door, I get a flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
Returning from the corner shops or visiting your friend, yet still a flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
Might have been to the doctor's or just come back from church. May have traveled through the city to spend some of my money. But isn't it funny? A flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
A flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll. Can't resist that tummy, that fluffy white tummy. Flop, stretch, roll. Gotta stroke that tummy, that fluffy white tummy. Flop, stretch, roll. Now this is his greeting, it really is a sweet thing. Flop, stretch, roll. With a purr, a meow, and a yawn. Every time my friends come in the back way, they get a flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
For a bit of chitter chatter and some chocolate cake to fill their tummy, yet still a flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
When students come for lessons in singing, piano and guitar, the weather may be wet and windy or even very sunny, but isn't it funny? A flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
A flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll. Can't resist that tummy, that fluffy white tummy. Flop, stretch, roll. Gotta stroke that tummy, that fluffy white tummy. Flop, stretch, roll. Now this is his greeting, it really is a sweet thing. Flop, stretch, roll. With a purr, a meow, and a yawn. You gotta bend down and greet him. You just cannot resist him, 'cause he is just the sweetest thing. You wanna pick him up and cuddle him after his flop, stretch, roll thing. Flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
A flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll.
Flop, stretch, roll. Can't resist that tummy, that fluffy white tummy. Flop, stretch, roll. Gotta stroke that tummy, that fluffy white tummy. Flop, stretch, roll. Now this is his greeting, it really is a sweet thing. Flop, stretch, roll. With a purr, a meow, and a yawn.
Chapter 6. Weekly Duties. The duty of student greeting. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, Angus greets the students with tail held high. This includes an arched back in the hopes of a stroke, a tickle or a pick-me-up, and then, in their turn, one by one, out they will go and in they will come at Vocal Tuition Studio, where the music classes run. And disciplining. Now, in keeping everyone in line was never a favourite job for Angus, as this would make him a cranky Angus, but never an angry, cranky Angus. Seldom did he need to use his authority in the way of correction, but if there was anything that he disapproved of, he would deal with the situation quickly to be back to his normal, happy-go-lucky self. There was one thing that puzzled him, however. He just could not figure out how some humans understood him perfectly well, while others seemed to be quite stupid and disobedient. For instance, there was Mr. B, a prime example. Now, cuddles are a privilege and often kept quite short if picked up for no reason. If this so happened, he would do the usual. Widening of the eyes, leaning back, followed by a raised, firm paw. Now, you have to be quick, as the next thing would be a donk. Yes, a clawless donk. A clawless donk on the head. If those sharp nails came out, you will know that you have been disciplined. And for sure, you will not be doing that again. The duty of changing the bed linen.
Oh, my favourite work day! Changing the sheets! It's all part of the routine, and a very important one at that,
said he. Little Purr Puss, a very happy cat.
Removing the bedclothes! I can do this in a swipe of a tail, you see. It's my job to jump in and play hide and seek.
Angus continues as he takes a little peek.
After which I get picked up, wrapped like a sack of potatoes. If only I could get more of that gentle swing thing before I'm put down and I'm out again. Ah, the smell of the fresh linen. And as it is to be placed, I slip back under it again. Those people of mine, they have no idea. Now, if I stay quiet, they won't find me here.
The duty of clothes washing. Angus's part in this particular ritual is to supervise, making sure that the clothes are hung up properly to dry. And of course, house cleaning. Angus leaps up to assist.
Oh, dusting, this is so much fun. Please, can I help with this particular one?
But Long Snake Hoover, he was never really quite sure of.
Am I to fetch, carry, catch or chase?
Then, with a flick of his tail, he just walks away. Yes, I do believe that Angus thinks that work is all but fun.
Seriously?
He would say.
It's no big deal. Why do humans always have to moan?
Now, with a pounce and swipe of a paw, the day's work is done. Then it would be his turn to play with a dangle of a string.
Life just doesn't get much better than this,
he said, smiling.
Weekly chores are all but play. Watch and learn as I show you the way. 'Cause work can be fun and easy to do. Take a skink from a cat and you can do it too. Making the beds, watch and see. Watching their clothes so easily. And dusting seems quite fun to me. Pulling out the wheel, seriously, how hard can it be? Monday morning, dusting hours. Tuesday lunchtime is guitar for beginners. And Wednesday evening, entertaining the guests. And Thursday is gardening. That's what I do best. Then on Friday is dusting and cleaning the house day. 'Cause Saturday is when the family come around to stay. Sunday afternoon is chill out time. But really every waking hour is always on me. Teaching from home is really a doddle. it's all about the cacados. Cause students are a dream, they can't resist me, cause I do all the work. Seriously, how hard can it be? Monday morning, greet the singers. Tuesday lunchtime is guitar for beginners. Wednesday evening, entertaining the guests. And Thursday is gardening. That's what I do best. Then on Friday is dusting and cleaning the house day, cause Saturday is when the family come around to stay. Sunday afternoon is chill out time. But really every week now where it's always on me. When it's time for you to entertain me and mangling a string or two, is it really that hard for you? Cause it makes me happy. Seriously, I get so bored, but you don't understand. Pay attention to all my emails, but you're always sitting down with a cup of tea. Seriously, how hard can it be? Wake up now, feed me now, throw a ball for me, throw any toy for me. Let me out, let me in. Can I sit on your lap while you're ticking my chin? Look at me, just look at me. Don't you think I'm really so lovely? Brush my coat, keep me looking meow, and I'll forever be in your company. But there's just one thing I'd like to say, that at the end of the day, how hard can it be? Seriously. Seriously. Ow.
Chapter 7. Playing games. Batting games, chasing games, dangling strings and funny toy things, ambushing and tackling, jumping, running and bounce catching, fetching, flying, feathered shuttlecocks, and that really fast moving little crazy red dot spot. Tennis balls, power balls, table tennis balls, and squashy light blue and yellow balls. Cuddly toys, lots of toys.
I can never really have too many wonderful, colourful toys.
Chapter 8. Sleep tight, night-night. And at the end of the day will end. The night will come, and everything will be still and quiet, so heavenly sent. Then Angus will lie on his bed, curl his tail in and tuck under his head, with sweet dreams of a perfect day of work, sunshine and social play. But guaranteed he'll be up at the crack of dawn with the call of the birds and a stretch and a yawn. And if he was your cat, he'd wake you up too, with a jump and a bang, by running as fast as he can from one end of the house to the place where you'd sleep. Pouncing across your head and on your belly he will heavily land, to get you up with the exciting tasks of another day at hand. And this would start off with a bowl of fresh food for Angus, and of course for you to unlock the palace gates so that he can crawl through. Here he will greet the world, smiling at the sun rising, making plans for his brand new day of hard work, regular rests, and fun games to play. The end.